We're reading. We're reading. Find the treasure within. Zen master Daehaeng, Korean Buddhism, Zen Buddhism. Why has the feeling of becoming one with the universe disappeared? Well, 2 months ago, I experienced something extraordinary when I was in the Dharma hall. While sitting in meditation, all of a sudden I seemed to disappear. I felt myself transform into bright light and become one with the universe. At that moment, I felt so blissful and lighthearted that I could have faced any hardship without fear. However, since then, I have lost that feeling. Although I remember what it was like, no matter how hard I try to return to that moment, I can't. The harder I try, the more oppressed I feel. Why has that feeling disappeared, although I have a vivid memory? Vivid memory of it. Why can't I feel it again? Well, why didn't you just meditate again? Just keep.
What was the answer?
Okay, the answer. When walking, you raise one foot up and then put it down in another spot. Then move the other foot ahead of it. Do you walk while clinging to each step?
Do you what?
Do you walk while clinging to each step, or do you just step forward without thinking of the footsteps you've already taken? You just walk, and with your mind undisturbed, you raise one foot up and then put it down step after step. Cultivating mind is like the movement of walking. Remember how we just walked around the temple? We got this booklet from the Han Mahan Temple at Flushing, Queens, because, of course, Queens is the capital of global religion. So we walked around the temple. Cultivating mind is like the movement of walking. Everything in the universe is functioning like that. Like walking, we continuously move forward. One moment we see something, then move on and instantly do other things. As soon as we hear or see something, we move on to other things. We live like this naturally. Nevertheless, if you find something you like, you try to cling to it, or if you feel unhappy, you try to cling to that unhappiness. Yeah, you hear that thing where you are attached to your suffering. You're attached to your pain.
Continue.
If you cling to that unhappiness, however, if you do not release that experience, you cannot move beyond it. Let's learn to think differently. No matter how sad you are, it is ephemeral. No matter how happy you are, it is short-lived. If you cling to the happiness or sadness of that moment, how will you be able to stride forward briskly and freely? We live every single day like the wind, which never sticks to any of things it passes. Thus, like the Heart Sutra says, become every single thing, because every single thing changes, there is no moment when we can say, I'm. We can say, I'm doing and I'm not doing. Hearing, seeing, speaking, reading, working, and meeting people, nothing in life is stationary for even an instant. All of it disappears like the wind. It never stays. Nevertheless, your intellect tries to take hold of good and bad things. People tend to be unhappy because the result wasn't what they wanted. Or they tend to hold on to a moment of happiness and never want to leave that place. Instead of doing this, just walk. that mean we should go there and just walk around the temple?
Mm-hmm.
Just walk around and around and around. And go in and meditate, then go walk around. Then we run into the Zen master.
I didn't ask you to walk around.
She didn't ask us to walk around.
Walk.
To walk. I'm attached to walking, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I should sit and not walk. This is the direct path on which we can obtain enlightenment in the midst of cultivating mind. You may encounter great wonder or terrible misery, but know that all of this exists to teach you so that you can improve. Therefore, regardless of what you face, let go of both good and bad things and walk forward peacefully and freely. Very good. Yeah.
Read that last again.
What's the last part? He just says, regardless of what you face, let go of both good and bad things and walk forward peacefully and freely.
But you didn't answer about the question
Oh.
why that experience disappeared.
Why does it disappear? Oh, come on. You could have thousands of blissful meditations, and the next day there's nothing. What if you reach nirvana 10,000 times? And then what if you didn't have it after the 10,000th time? Dry. Your meditation was dry. I did 10,000 times reach nirvana. How can I guide my children? I'm the mother of a third-year middle school student. Uh-oh, that's dangerous. Although my son and I am not well off, I've always tried to do my best for him, and I think he feels how much I care for him. Until recently, he never caused any problems. But lately, he's been hanging out with friends who are not so good. I never knew where they go, and my son is falling behind at school. Not long ago, he disappeared for several days, and I had to search high and low before I finally found him and brought him home. He is supposed to be getting ready for the high school entrance exams. Yet no matter how much I try to persuade him to study, he absolutely refuses to listen to me. Oh my goodness. Instead, he behaves even worse. I've been doing everything I can to become a tiger mom. I just made that up. That's not in here. I've been doing everything I can to try to help him have a good future. But nothing seems to be working, and I feel so exhausted. What can I do? Oh, welcome to the middle school years. Answer: if you truly want to help your son to become a good person, if you truly want to understand each other, then first you must tear down the wall that you've built. Your preconceptions, fixed ideas, discriminations, attachments surround you and are piled high like a wall. So how can your sincere heart be accurately conveyed to your son, and how can his sincere heart reach you? Your mind and heart will become broader and more clear to the extent that you throw away fixed ideas, to the extent that you let go of your discriminations, and to the extent that you discard your attachments, then you will be able to accept and understand your son as he is. To put it another way, if his mind is square, and you too become square. If his mind is round, you also become round. If he is red, you become red. If blue, then you become thoroughly understood blue. A son or daughter will never find anyone who loves them as unconditionally as their mother. This is like the Mother's Day reading. The mother's heart is very unconditional and ceaselessly wants to help her child. However, it often happens by attachments, discriminations, and fixed views are mixed in with this noble love that mothers possess and causes words and actions to become distorted. Parents often have very firm ideas about what is best for their children, what is good, what is bad, together with the desire for their children to be better than other children. However, as parents try to raise their children, these rigid ideas often end up cutting off communication between them and their children. They don't open their hearts to each other. Children can't speak to their parents, and parents no longer understand their children. Sometimes parents think they are doing a good job raising their children because the children do well in school, don't cause any problems, and don't speak back. In these cases, especially, parents feel confused when their child starts behaving. She starts behaving badly. Inherently, your mind and your son's mind are connected, so light and energy can flow back and forth. But when you've closed yourself off to each other, that flowing is blocked. You can easily hurt each other and cause long-lasting problems. Things can even reach a point where the relationship can't ever return to what it was before. Although we can't see it with our eyes, the fundamental mind that we each possess connects and communicates with every single thing in life throughout the universe. On top of this, a mother and her child shared the same body for 9 months, so it's that much easier for their minds to connect and communicate. To believe in your fundamental mind, everything rises from there and everything returns there. Its ability is beyond measure, and it can cause anything to change. There is no such thing as my fundamental mind. That is different and separate from your fundamental mind. There is only the fundamental mind that connects us both and functions as one. Thus, if your mind becomes bright, your child's mind will automatically become brighter. So believe in your fundamental mind and take all of the worries, fears, and accusations that come up and entrust them there. Take everything that confronts you and just let it go. Go to your fundamental mind. This is the way in which you can best show your unconditional love for your son. And the only way that your mind and your son can't connect to it. Can connect as one. Imagine if you and your son were separated by a mountain of ice hundreds of meters high. If your mind becomes warm and bright, then spring will come naturally, and the ice that separates you gradually becomes thinner. Finally, the ice will completely melt away and flowers will blossom. Start with yourself, and the rest will happen automatically. See the mountains here? There's ice on these mountains. Huh. We have the Yosemite in the background. We're reading from Zen Master, Korean Zen Master Daehaeng. And we finished the book, Find the Treasure Within, Buddhism and Daily Life. And we got it when we walked around the temple in Flushing on off of 32nd Avenue. And we didn't sit inside to meditate, so when are we going to do that? Here's the pagoda.
So how can you reach your fundamental mind?
Me? I don't know. Me, reach it? Reach it. The fundamental
me,
mind.
how can I?
There's only one. How? Work, dear. Work on it.
How?
Go meditate at the temple.